It's high noon. Do you know where your muse is? Okay, this is John Presco, come to you live from Springfield, Oregon, where, as promised, I'm going to work on a painting. I'm going to try to do one a month. I'm going to take more time to practice freedom of expression, which is under attack now openly in our democracy, with attack by the haters of art who attacked the Capitol building, entered the rotunda, the Statuary Hall, and defaced these statues. They defecated around them, wrote their names in this Hall of Statues, where I'm not sure, I can't find out for sure that my kin, Senator Thomas Hart Benton, statue is. They were talking about removing him, but then they got mixed up in the bill to do that from the lawmakers of Missouri with his grandnephew, the artist Thomas Hart Benton, who was the teacher of Jackson Pollock. And he was also inspired Gerald Thornton, whose daughters I know lived with in a commune in Berkeley. So the painting that inspired me, I'm going to try to do I guess controversial works of art. That's how I started out as an artist, and I tried to do non-controversial art. Was inspired by this image of these two women carrying the electoral votes to safety as the mob came to the door. I just can't think of a more dramatic work of art. I mean, it's up there with a lot of the European artists that did. Picasso did revolutionary themes. I mean, they got these masks over their face. It's like they're muffled. See, they're carrying the voice of the people. So the title of this painting is Guardians of the Voice. The voice. So when you cast your ballot, you're supposed to be, it's supposed to be your voice. You're speaking up. I, nay. I want this person to be the president. I want this person to be the president. I want this person to be the president. See, it's not a all or nothing type of thing. It's a win or lose. When you play a game of cards, you actually make an agreement there's going to be a loser. That's why you play. Because you don't want to lose, you want to win. But you have to come to an agreement before and after that game is over. And the Republicans don't want to do it. The President of the United States still doesn't want to do it. They still don't want to admit and say that the Democrats or somebody else, some other force, stole the election. They stole it. They can't admit that. They're justifying the mob rule and everything else. Like what happened in Portland with Antifa and those crazy street anarchist people. Portland, yeah, that's why I sent that mob down in Pennsylvania. That's why these two women, I mean, it's not a stoic look. It's truly a statuary look. And I'm sure someone's going to suggest a statue be made of this image. I would like to do it. I'm very good with clay. But I'm going to do the painting because today we are talking about having Pence to declare the 25th Amendment and have the president removed from office. If that doesn't happen, they're going to talk about the second impeachment. So what I'm going to have is these two guardians coming to the crest of this hill, the darkness into the light, carrying this box, and you got like Justice is blind with blindfold, but you got both of their mouths covered because these votes haven't been read out. They haven't been verbalized, which they have to do in the Senate chambers. The state of Georgia cast so many electoral ballots. See, that's what they were going to do. But the rioters that the President of the United States sent at them from the White House prevented the reading of these voices. They were muffled. And finally, when they came out of the under desk, hiding from the mob, this ballot box that they carry was brought back out. I mean, you can't have a more symbolic democratic world historic image than this. So what I'm going to be working on in the future, actually starting right pretty soon, is the authoring of a bill that will protect freedom of expression. There's freedom to bear arms and these other freedoms. But we're seeing statues being attacked or torn down all across America. That seemed to be coming from Black Lives Matter or Antifa, or people on the left. And now we see people on the right going after the statues and defiling works of art. And whether they're commissioned or not, or they're works that are inspired for some reason, there's still a form of freedom of expression. And this has to be protected. And the artists have to be protected. And there should be, part of this bill, a clause that says you have a right to protect these works of art. And how that is going to be done and under what circumstances that'll be done remains to be seen or worked out. But I have completely established that being harassed by Ali Valkyrie, Kim Hafner, and my neighbors, that they went after my newspaper, they went after my art, also the people that ended up buying my sister's estate in some, I think, illegal manner. That was, I'll show that my sister, they went after my sister. At the same time, they wanted to profit from her. They thought the public wanted to see one of these horrible movies about a drunken artist and stuff, crazy artist that shoots stuff. Well, my sister wasn't famous like that. She wasn't famous like Van Gogh. So trying to make money from that depiction is criminal. And it defaces her art and her freedom of expression. So we've got the sun coming over there. I think I'm going to take my cloth here. I'm working with acrylics, which I want to wet in this area. Give it water. so I can work with it. This is the darkness that wants to silence the voice of the people, put it in oblivion. So it can't be heard. You have to live in the darkness and fear. And God created the heaven and earth, said, let there be light. And talks about the Word of God. The Word of God is light. First question that God asked Adam and Eve, human beings he created, was, where art thou? Why couldn't he see him anymore? That's the theme of my theological book. The title, Where Art Thou? Well, my theory is the reason he couldn't see him anymore because they were hiding something. And they were hiding the truth. They conspired to hide the truth. And if God is the truth and we're made in his image, then when we lie, we become invisible to God. We are no longer made in his image, and we are children of the liar, Satan. This is happening to our country. President Bush will go down and, well, his lies are legion. His millions of followers, many of them evangelicals, overlook these lies and look towards their political agenda. When you do this, you're in league with the great liar. You're saying that politics is greater than the Word of God. Let there be light. Now you're in the darkness. And you use more darkness to conceal your agenda. It can't be God's agenda. What's the 10th commandment? It's that number 4. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. It's going to be a swirl. Swirling lies. Coming into engulf light. The truth can be made manifest with art. A picture is worth 1,000 words. I.e., the mask that the guardians of the voice, the people, are wearing. You really don't have to say much once you know who they are, what they are carrying. The picture is worth 1,000 words. And they're beautiful. These women are beautiful. Not just physically beautiful, but their posture is incredible, incredibly beautiful. Because they're resolute. They understand what they're doing. Votes from the vicious mob who wants to silence the voice of the people. I don't think there's ever been a more obvious oppression of democracy. Than what we saw in our Capitol building. Okay, so now I'm going to I'm going to have to work this up in layers. I work in layers. I don't like to use white paint. So this will be my first broadcast on this painting. I don't know. I tend to work fast. When I was young, I could work on a painting non-stop and finish one in 2 hours. No problem. Okay, so the sun is going to be over here. So I want half of the hill to be lit. The other half to be darkness. And of course, this is symbolic of Capitol Hill. The ark of the voice of the people had to be removed from the hallowed chambers of the Senate to a safe ground, to another hill. How symbolic is that? there's a angel quality to these women. It just leaps out at you. Voice. It's like they're carrying the Ark of the Covenant to higher ground. The Philistines are at the gate. Eli falls backwards in his chair, breaks his neck. The Philistines capture the Ark. He dies. A theologian. You can see what I'm doing here. Okay. So today is 12th, January 12th. I begin this painting. little spot there. That was inspired by the work of Andrew Wyeth when I was 13, 14, 15. And I turned my sister on to it, famous artist Christine Rosamond Benton. Okay, so let's look at our model. Wow, it's a lot more dramatic, isn't it? The picture of the woman of the angels of the voice are facing the opposite way. So I got to find a way of reversing that so I can better translate it, because I think I'm going to have them be right here. I've got to work on the scale now. That's what I'll be studying. It's the scale. But they're going to be. See, I don't know. So maybe I'll have them be small or a little bigger. So that's what I'll see. We do next time. It's my sketch in voice, the angels of the voice, the guardian angels of the voice, the people. That's the name of that tune, this painting. And see, I've worked 25 minutes on it. So this is the Pathetic Human Being art show. And thank you for tuning in. Talk to you next time. You be careful out there here.